Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending some of your time with me. So today is a little bit different for me. You'll notice that there wasn't a video last week because I was having editing issues, and I just ended up scrapping the whole thing and didn't want to go through filming something else at that point in time. So here we are. But because of that, I ended up last weekend doing some trades. And that was not a first for me, but it was a first in the way that I did it. So I don't normally post things on Facebook, but in this case I have been looking for a jade Scindapsus forever. They're not easy to find. You can look on websites for them and they're always sold out. So I have my Syngonium Wendlandii, which I've actually had for a really long time, the past 7 or 8 years, but it wasn't until last year that I found out what it was. I had picked it up in a dollar store for less than $2 a long time ago, and I didn't know what it was. I knew it was a Syngonium, but I didn't know what kind until last year. It had gone through some transitional changes. There had been a little bit of a neglect, there had been a pest issue. So last fall, I believe it was, I decided that I was going to cut every leaf off of it and just grow it from scratch. And that's what I did. But in that process, I also took a couple of wet stick nodes. And I had never really done anything with stuff like that. So it was kind of an experiment at the same time. Anyway, those wet sticks grew into 2 little baby plants that I had. So I threw up one of them in a Facebook group that I'm a part of. I'll insert a picture of it. I put it up with the post that I was in search of a jade Scindapsus or an exotica, because that's another one that I know that they're around, but you just can't, whenever I'm looking, I can never find them. So I threw up the post with a picture of the just tiny baby Wendlandii cuttings, or well, it was a rooted cutting. It was a plant. And right away, I got a response. And then a minute later, I got another response. So what I did was I had responded to the first person that had shown interest. And I believe she was at work, so she couldn't reply right away. And I'm going to say that I'm not sure if I did the correct thing, but in the end, you can let me know because of how this turns out. So when the second person replied to my request for the Scindapsus or the exotica cuttings, we had a little bit of a conversation, and she was talking about how the jade Scindapsus was a really slow grower. She didn't recommend it, and that I could pretty much find an exotica anywhere, which was sort of true. And in the end, she offered me something else for my cutting. And she sent me a list of things that she had, and quite a few of them I had, but there was 2 on her list that interest me because I see them but haven't bought them because of the price tag that's usually associated with them. So we continued to talk back and forth, and in the middle of this, the first person who had responded to my post had messaged me. So I knew that I had 2 babies. One was a little bigger than the other one, and the other one I didn't post just primarily because it was smaller. And so in talking to the 2 women, and I was completely forthcoming with the first person that had messaged me, and told her that after talking to the second person I was dealing with, that the cutting that I had posted was going to go to her in a trade for 2 things I wasn't even looking for. But I did offer her the smaller baby and a more mature cutting off of my mother plant for either her jade or her exotica, because I did still want them even afterwards. So this is what happened. So I went and I met the first, the second person that I was dealing with. I went and met her that same day because she was very, very excited about having a Wenlandiae. And this is what she gave me for that cutting. Okay, so first off, and this was about almost a week ago, last week, Canada Day, so last Thursday. So what I got from her were these two baby fried eggs. I don't see them very often at all. So when she offered them to me, we'd even kind of gone back and forth about how I wasn't exactly sure if I wanted the fried eggs, because I am still just working with basic alocasias and their care. And at this point, this one here is my favorite. And it's my Alocasia Yucatan Princess. I love her so much. But so I got these two babies from that Facebook group. And I'm actually really happy that I did. I was surprised at first, but I was really happy that I took that on. But not only, just let me put these down. Not only did she give me the two fried egg babies, she also gave me an Alocasia cuprea. This leaf is, I'm just waiting for it to die. Okay, so we pulled it off because it's on the way out anyway. So she gave me this Alocasia cuprea. I see them all the time. I love them. I think they are the coolest looking things. But I wasn't going to buy one. I had other things on my mind that I wanted. So when she offered me, and the second fried egg was actually a surprise. As far as I knew, I was getting a fried egg baby and the cuprea cutting, the cuprea pup. So the second fried egg was like kind of a bonus. But not only did she give me those, she did give me a caladium. But if you saw my anti-wish list video, you would see that I'm not a fan of caladiums. So I did actually rehome that plant to a friend that I knew would be able to take care of it, because she's amazing with all those things that I am not amazing with. So I gave it to her. Now, with all of that being done, we did meet up, and I think we chatted for about 45 minutes about plants and where to find things and everything, and she was super sweet. So then I was continuing to talk to the first person that I had messaged, and like I said, I had, been fully disclosed that I had given the first cutting to the second person because of what she had offered me and stuff like that. So I did send her pictures of the other baby, which only had 2 tiny leaves on it, and my mother plant. She chose the cutting that she wanted off the plant because I did offer her that baby and an unrooted cutting, kind of to make up for it. And she was more than happy to do that. So we set that up, and when she actually came to my house for the pickup the next day. And she had brought me this jade scindapsus. So guys, my camera died. I don't exactly remember where it was I left off. I'm pretty sure that I had left off with my jade scindapsus. Pretty sure that's where I was. So getting back into it, where was I? So yes, so she came and we did a like a front door drop off type thing. And before she came, she asked me if I had any 2.5 inch or 3 inch little nursery pots. And I said that I was pretty sure I did. I knew that I had 2-inch. I have 2-inch everywhere. And I knew that I had a couple of 2.5, 3-inch, and 3.5. So I said, sure. And she goes, well, do you have a Silverian, a Scindapsus Silverian? And I said, no, I don't. So she offered to trade for a few of my tiny little nursery pots for an unrooted cutting. So that's what I did. So it's in my prop box because I did actually cut it up. There's a couple of other things in here. You won't even know what they are. And if I'm honest, I kind of think I forgot what they are. But they're starting to grow, so there's got to be something. So anyway, I'm not sure. Let's see if you can see. Maybe we'll do it this way. Okay. So in here, there's Silverian cutting here. I did cut it up into 5 pieces because it was almost like a runner. You know what I mean? It had this leaf at the base and it had this leaf at the end. And then it had 1, 2, 3 nodes that I decided I would propagate. So we're gonna see how that goes. What do I have in here? Oh, I think this is, I've got a Squamiferum and I've got 2 subpinnata cuttings. One is actually giving me a leaf. This other one, not so much, but that's okay, it can stay there. Oh, my other unknown Scindapsus is also in here. From when I got the Silver Splash and the Exotica and they showed up mushy and like dead. And only one of them survived. Well, I still don't know because it doesn't really have any markings on it, so I'm not exactly sure if this is a Silver Splash cutting or if it is the Exotica cutting. But it's taken a really long time to get this itty bitty tiny little root that you can see there. So it just perpetually lives in the prop box until we see a change in that. And I have a tiny little Gloriosum, my first Gloriosum, which has been nothing but trouble, still lives in here. And I don't want to pull it out. So, okay, now, those are all the trades. I've got a pillow on my lap. Those are all the trades that I did over that weekend. Canada Day and then on Saturday. On Friday, that same Facebook group, somebody had asked, they had put their Pilea peperomoides out on their deck on Canada Day and somebody stole it. And this poor woman was heartbroken. So one of the plants in my collection that I didn't really care for was my Pilea peperomoides. So I messaged her and I was like, you know, I have a full plant if you want it, because I fell out of love with it and I would really like to rehome it because it doesn't get any attention from me aside from watering. She showed up right away. And I bought it when it was in a 2-inch pot and it was probably about this big. I'll insert a picture of that as well. And she came and picked it up. She was so happy. And that made me happy because it went somewhere where somebody was going to appreciate it. And again on the weekend, I think it was the Sunday. So from Thursday to Sunday, something plant related happened with a stranger like every day. One of my neighbors, who must know that I collect plants because you can see them in every window in my house, left plants on my lawn. So I actually shared them with another neighbor. Okay, we're not even gonna say shared. He stole my 2 little trees, but that's okay because he's got the whole outdoor thing going on there. So he stole my little trees. That's fine. But there was something that I'm not used to having, and I swear I will probably kill because I'm no good with them. And I wish I had a picture of it when I had picked it up. But this little asparagus fern was left. And it was outside next to the two little trees. And during our heat wave and everything, it was ridiculous. I felt so bad for it. It looked so much worse than this. It was bigger. It was in a different pot. It was super heavy. Like the pot was really, really heavy and dense. And when I pulled it out, I saw that it was full of sand. And I thought to myself, why would there be a fern in sand? Mind you, I don't know a lot about ferns. But why would there be a fern in sand? So I took the whole thing out, checked the root system. Root system was fine. And I threw it in a different mix that just has some extra perlite, some charcoal, and a little bit more of a peaty mix because it is a fern. Cut all the dead fronds off it, and it's starting to look really, really good. And hopefully I don't kill it. So this was just another planty thing that happened over a 4-day period. So from my first post, you know, spontaneously throwing up the Wendlandii, just looking for a jade scindapsus, I ended up coming out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants, a rehoming, and a rescue. That is all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you're all safe and well, and it's so much cooler here now. It's a cloudy, blustery day, and I'm totally here for it. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel, and leave any comments below. I love chatting to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.